Hello.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, sir. So I guess everyone has joined. So
Oh, great.
I'll have a introduction first. So hi
Yeah.
everyone. Today we have all gathered here to for the 68th year industrial brief decode session. So let me introduce the moderator to you guys. We have architect Krishnamurthy sir joining us today for the brief decode session. He will be serving as the moderator for the 68th year. Over to you, sir.
Hi, guys. Hello, everyone. Good
So
evening.
your camera is
By the
off.
way, 1 minute. I'll put the camera on. Yeah, good evening, guys. By the way, I'm driving right now. So I've just parked. Okay. So let's understand. I just wanted to understand what are the questions that you guys have got so that one by one we can take that. I think, Sai, they had some list of questions that you had put across to me, right?
Yes, sir. So first we can have
Yeah.
your insight on the brief itself. Then we can go ahead
Okay.
with the
Fine.
questions.
Done. So let me tell you guys that this year. Uh, I mean, NASA wanted to do something absolutely unique. So, according to me, if we have to really do something, something which could be utilized or could be brought in uh, 2 years down the line, if there is something that we really want to build, correct? So, the whole idea is, can there be a product that we can imagine now in today's world which could be utilized 20 years ahead of times? Okay, so we want to understand if we as humans, we as people, we as architects, we as designers, can we design something? Can we come up with an idea that would be a part of our ecosystem in the coming future? Okay, so can that be a design? Can that be a product? Can there be a product that we can think about, which would be utilized after 15 or 20 years down the line? Okay, for a simple example, if I'm looking at if I think that uh, there would be a product, let me say, there could be a product like today in a kitchen. Let me think for an example. In a kitchen, I have an island kitchen. Okay, so and I want that island kitchen to keep moving around whenever I want this island to be in my dining space or to be in my garden or to be this island can be a part of my bedroom, and I can do my cooking there, I can do everything there. Okay, so the island itself is a product which has got a kitchen inside, which has got a complete kitchen inside and every detail inside, but through automation. Can I design something which has got a drones fit inside it and then it's moving on just a command? Okay, can we take the future to that extent? Can a design be taken to that extent? Is a question that I'm just trying to ask today. Okay. And if so, if the question arises, can we really design something like this and build something like this for a customer, whether it is possible or not? And if it is possible, how far this detail that we are looking at could be functional to every one of us? Okay. Then what size are we looking at? Is it a 8 feet long thing? It's a 10 feet long thing. It's a 6 feet long thing by 2 feet. If the volume has been decided, then what are the things that we can incorporate into this, the island counter that we're looking at? Will it have induction thing? Will it have a storage? Will it have a wash basin? I mean a sink inside it? Will it have an oven? Will it have a coffee mixer? Will it have a griller? Will it have a storage for my glasses? Will it have a small mini refrigerator like a wine chiller or a small refrigerator where I can put some bottles in it? What all can I incorporate into this kind of a product? So it's just a thought. The idea is, can we guys, can we as architects today, can we come up with solutions with respect to interiors or architecture, both interiors and architecture? I'm not just saying interiors, but it can be architecture also. Let us say I have a facade today of a building, which suddenly changes to something else. So 10 days back, I'm on this route, and I see this building which has got a beautiful facade. After 20 days, I come back. Okay, after 20 days, I come back because I have a site going on. But then when I'm passing through that same building, I find that the building is completely different. It's not just kinetics that I'm looking at. Can it be something else? Can the building just change its skin? Can it? If so, to what extent? What would be the module? What would be the design detail? If possible, can it be at multiple levels? Can it be? I don't know. I'm just saying, I thought. Can we all, as architects, as designers, can all we come together uh, as competitors and say that this could be the product that we can design? Can this be the facade of a building which could be designed? Can today, again an example, can today I enter into a building from one end? Okay. Can this entrance be changed to the other end? Because probably this today on this route we will be having a lot of traffic. On the other route we'll have lesser traffic. Can it be that thought process? So these are things. What if a design could reach to this extent? Can I think of something which could be designed in a future, uh, and it can be programmed to that extent? Is it possible? All these things is what I'm looking at in this program that we try to put across. Okay, because what we understand today is, if I'm looking at Milan, for the matter of fact, if I'm looking at China, for the matter of fact, or if I'm looking at Russia or US or Germany, all these guys are moving forward in life, thinking about what could be built in the near future, and that we can do a prototype today and understand its pros and cons, positive, negative points of that prototype, and keep on developing it and reach to an extent where it can be produced in the market. And I'm asking a question, being an Indian, why should I not be a part of this kind of an ecosystem? Right? Why should only these guys who are living on the other part of the world be a part of the ecosystem, and why we are not? Is a question that I'm trying to ask. Hence, I want this question to be asked by each one of you, and make sure that a product like this could exist in the near future. It could be just an hypothetical thing, it could be a dramatic thing, it could be just a dream, right? It could be just a dream. But can it come into existence? For example, how many of you guys have watched this movie called Avatar, right? So Avatar is a movie which inspires us a lot. Okay. So now I'm doing a bedroom. Now this is the practical thing, huh? Because I got inspired from there. I'm doing a bedroom, and the whole bedroom is being designed on the concept of the tree of Iowa, right? In that movie, the part one, there is something called Iowa, right? So the tree is there. So it's got all those fiber optics inside it. So I'm trying to put those same fiber optics into my floor, onto my wash basin, onto my bathtub, coming onto the ceiling, and then onto the bed and everything. So when I want to create a mood, a different kind of a mood, I shut down all the lights. I just put this fiber optics on, and I am into a different world by itself. Okay, so I'm trying to create that. So I'm just trying to understand: can lights become a part of our spaces to an extent where they become dramatic, to an extent where they talk something else. They don't talk the same thing that we see in our homes. We all call about mood lighting, we call about human-centric lighting. But at the end of the day, it is the same. Can the whole concept or the thought process of that space change if light says this is how I want to be? If light says this is how I should be presented, can that happen? So the whole idea is today, you as designers, you as architects, the young budding architects, can you become a part of this kind of an ecosystem where you're trying to compete with the other part of the world, where you are trying to say that you are the guys who can think beyond to an extent where this is what we need to think about. We prototype it, we build it, and make it successful. See, there can be failures also. Not necessarily that every product that you're designing has to pass that system, has to be the perfect thing. No, not necessary. It can be something which can be just a thought, maybe not 5 years down the line, maybe not 10 years down the line, maybe 40 years down the line, that product can become successful. Maybe. But it doesn't mean that you can't design. It doesn't mean that you can't think. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't think like this. Okay. We should think. We should think beyond, and we can make them exist. Okay. So my idea is, the whole idea is, you as architects, you as budding architects, think beyond what people are trying to think right now, and become a part of that ecosystem where you say that yes, we are here today. We are running parallel to them, or maybe we're also running ahead of them, right? On the context of the design language that we are looking at. So that's the whole idea of this program that we have tried to set up. So I want from each and every team who is trying to participate, each and every college to think beyond. Just remove that imaginary line. Everything is yours. Okay, there are no lines drawn here. Everything is yours. So you have to think future. You have to think with a concept of something which can become a part of this ecosystem where a human can utilize it. Okay, because we want comfort. We all want comfort. So what is that comfort that we are looking at? We want to live, but how do we want to live? We want different spaces, but how should these spaces look like? We want products where I want to sit, I want to relax, I want to listen, I want to see. Correct. But what should be this that I'm looking at? So this is what I am trying to say. Like, we're also trying to design a bathtub now. A bathtub which has got a bathtub, it's got a jacuzzi, it's got a wash basin connected, it's got a steam, it's got a shower, it's got a TV, it's got a wine chiller, it's got a place to keep a kettle, it's got a place to keep induction and a storage. We are designing this. So what I mean to say is a product like this, if exists, I can sit in a bathtub, I can relax. I can also do a Zoom meeting sitting in a bathtub if I have a TV with me, right? So right now, let us say if that bathtub would have been there and I wanted to relax, I could have a meeting with you guys sitting, relaxing in the bathtub, right? Because that's the time, doing a Zoom meeting for an hour. And I can also chill. I can also sit in a bathtub, take a shower, take a jacuzzi, and still I do a meeting. I'm saving my time. Can these kind of things exist? Can these kind of things be designed? If designed, what is the kind of a technology that has to be put across into this kind of a requirement that I'm looking at? So all this is what I want you guys to think. So think beyond to an extent where it could be something which probably today a human is not thinking to build or design and put it into the ecosystem of where we are living in. Okay, so that's the basic idea. Okay, so now any questions that you guys have to open to the floor?
So first, we'll go ahead with the questions of the query set. Then we can start
Yeah,
in with the general questions. So
done.
Pranesh, if you would like to. So,
Hi, sir. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pranish, currently serving as the program head on the 68th Year Council of NASA India. So the insight that you gave regarding the brief was very interesting, and I think all the students who joined here and are also watching on YouTube, I think they'll be really invested, and I think things would have been clarified for them a lot. And we're also really looking forward to seeing the entries as they come in. And from the query set, we have a few questions, after which we can open the floor to questions to the meeting in the meeting. So the first question, uh, what exactly do we need to put in the YouTube video? Should it be a walkthrough or a concept explanation?
See, a design that we are trying to build has to be expressed to people, right? People have to understand whatever you're designing. So you have to create your own method. It could be a walkthrough, it could be visuals, it could be slides, it could be anything. But whatever you're designing, it has to be expressed and explained in such a way that everybody who is sitting in the jury or who's sitting or any client or any person who's trying to view it, he needs to understand what you have designed. So there are no barriers again. So our intention has to be whatever we are designing, it has to be, people have to understand what you have designed. That's it. And people have to appreciate that. People have to understand that this, yes, this is what we are looking at. And this is something which, one has to really think about. That's the question.
So all questions in the brief, do all the questions in the brief have to be answered, or only a few, or one?
No, I didn't get that. Can you come again?
The question is, do all the questions in the brief have to be answered, or only a few, or any one?
So what is the question that we are asking for? We are asking for one product that each team has to design, right? There can be thousands of questions. You have to select one question and design for that question. So whether it is a kitchen that we are looking at, whether it is a car that I want to design for a future, whether I have to design a mobile, let us say, or right now I have fixed my mobile on the steering wheel of my car. Okay, because there's just a small gap, I try to fit into that gap. So if I could have had something as a fitting inside this wheel, where there are some microphones, some speakers, some space where I can put my coffee and also fix my mobile onto that, docket onto that, and I have some earphones. Then this Zoom meeting would have been very easy. Correct. So I'm just looking at you to develop a question, ask a question to yourself, make a brief, and answer to that question, which would be the need of the which would be the requirement for everyone. It can be anything. Okay. So you don't have to design 10 products, you have to design just one product. But that has to be something which has to come from the other part of the world. Well, it shouldn't be coming from the world, maybe it should come from some space. We don't know.
So the next question that we like the students had was related to the YouTube video that we have requested in the brief itself. So the students want to know more about it, like what the video has to include.
That's what I said. It can be anything which can express your design. Right. So it is
Yeah.
that simple here. So let's not make it complicated. YouTube, you're trying to put up a video. You're trying to tell people that this is the product that we have designed, and this product will cater to this kind of a people. I'm not even saying that whatever product you're trying to design has to cater to the whole world. It can only cater to a lakh people in the world because it might be a necessity for them. Right. So not necessarily that you have to design a common product for everyone. So think of a product which can cater to only few people, like a sportsman, an athlete. You can't have shoes designed for an athlete and the same shoes are used by everyone. Not necessary. A specific kind of a shoes can be designed for an athlete. Of course, the others can use, but it is specially designed for an athlete. So it's a thought again. So similarly, you have to pick up your choices. You have to pick up a question and answer for that on the form of a design. And you're
Sure, sir.
presenting it on the YouTube because people want to understand in a very easiest way. And visuals are something which can really convey your message to everyone. Rather than explaining it, your visuals, your videos, your audios, it can explain people in a much bigger way and better way. So make it simple. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So the next question is, can we use technologies which are in research currently, but could be developed completely after 10 to 15 years?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Most welcome. The whole idea is that. You can also talk about the technology, how it can, how this technology can also be built. Maybe today we don't know that this is the kind of a technology we're looking at, but the technology can be built very easily with certain kind of ideas. So we can also put up a system of how to develop the technology, and by the use of that technology, we can make these kind of products.
Sure, sir. So I feel most of the questions from the query set have been answered. So we'll open up the questions for the people in the Google Meet as well as YouTube. So guys, if you have questions, please do ask.
Just a request, please be mindful and respectful while asking your questions and don't overlap while another question is being asked.
So there's a question over YouTube right now. So the
Mhm.
person has asked, is it necessary that it has to be related to an architecture space, or can it be an individual product or anything as such?
It can be anything. It's a product design, right? It's an industrial design. So industrial design that we are trying to do is, the concept is it has to be a product, whether it is related to architecture or whether it is related to interiors. End of the day, it has to be used by a human or any living being on this earth. Even you can design a product for a dog, you can design a product for some animal, right? It can be, you can design a product to safeguard your car. It could be, right? So, it's a product that you're designing, you're giving a solution. The whole idea is you're giving a solution which could be very futuristic. The whole idea is that. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we can have really.
So does the product need to be parametric or organic?
Again, see, parametric and organic is the thought process of the product. Okay. Product can be designed anyhow. Parametric are the tools. If you want to use that tool to design something, yes, you can. Organic is a form, is a thought process. Whether organic kind of a design detail is necessary, then you can opt that. If not, you can justify your product. The whole idea of this design competition is to think something which is beyond. Organic and parametric doesn't mean it is beyond, right? The idea has to be beyond. The product that you're trying to design has to be beyond.
Okay,
Okay,
sir. Thank
somebody
you.
asked what should be the scale. Somebody asked what should be the scale of the design. So there was a message. So the scale can be anything. It can be a smaller product which is 5 inches by 5 inches or 4 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches, or it could be as big as a building. You have to take a choice. It's open to all. So your idea, a product that you're trying to design for a building could also be a smaller element. You don't have to design the whole building or a whole facade, but it could be just a prototype of a smaller area that you want to think about so that you're into a limited time period. And it is very easy for you to explain. Then the prototype can be multiplied. The idea can be multiplied. Okay. Yeah.
Hello, good evening, sir. So my
Yes.
question was, do we have the product that we design, does it have to directly interact with people, or does can it have an indirect interaction? For example, you mentioned building facades, something
Mhm.
like that. It's like an indirect interaction with people, or something like, for example, we have light poles or street lamps. That's also like an indirect connection with people, but shoes, as you mentioned, they're like a direct contact. So does it
Not,
have to be
not,
direct
not,
or it can be indirect?
not necessary. Not necessary. As far as possible, if that product is something which really helps the whole ecosystem, right? In any ways, it could save the energy, it could reduce your sunlight, it could reduce the wind pressure on the building. It could be anything. It has to be a product which could be a part of architecture and interiors.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So there's a question in the chat on whether it can be a set of multiple products.
It could be. It could be. It's a solution. See, you are asking a question and you're supposed to give a solution, and it has to justify. And it has to be justified in such a way that the time span that you're trying to get to justify your design and explain your design, right? It depends. If you're designing something which can really communicate with multiple agencies, right? Very well and good. You have to explain it. The whole idea is to explain this design. See, today we are also trying to see a lot of reels where people are trying to design something. Recently, I had sent in the NASA group, I had sent one image, one reel, where people are trying to design shoes uh, where you can walk on water. Okay, this is an AI generated reel. It's not the real thing, but the idea is being put across. Can we design something like this? Can we design a shoe? Uh, we are wearing it and then we can walk on water, right? So the thought process is there. So the idea is there. Now you have to design it. So people have generated videos on AI, but nobody has built the product. But that idea is very good. Now, since the idea has come in, can we really build it? So if you can build it, give a solution to it. The logic is that. So you have to come out with a solution, whether and how it has to build. Okay. It shouldn't be just an hypothetical question and an answer to it only on the design. But you also have to give a solution whether it can be built or not. And if it can be built, it can be built like this. Not necessarily that every program, everything that you're trying to say has to be justified. But if the process of how to build this has got at least 50% justifiable, then it is okay. So the logic has to be that at least 50% whatever you're trying to design has to be communicated to people in such a way. Yes, हाँ ये तो हो सकता है यार, ये बन सकता है. Maybe not today, but it can be built. But if you say 10%, it is like not 10% you are justifying and 90% is not viable, then it will not fit into the subject. So that is something which you need to look into. So any product or any project that we are trying to look at today, if it is justifiable above 50%, then absolutely it can be presented. Okay?
So there's another question, sir, on
Yeah.
do we have to add, do we have to do any prototypes of the product?
If you can do it, very well and good. Right. What we have also thought about is the top three. We will try and build them if possible. Right. And if students think that we can really build the prototype, absolutely most welcome. That will add to your thought process in the markings. Okay.
So we had a question over YouTube. Is it something that has to be made for the people in India, or can it be for a specific group of people in other parts of the world?
Anywhere in the any part of the world, if people can use this, it should be designed. So the whole logic is to design something which can be usable by at least few people in the world because it is meant for them. Like we have, specially able people, right? So things can be designed for them also. So you have to think what is that thing that has to be designed today. You can also design something for the students of architecture. You might be finding some problems, right? You might be thinking, यार ये ऐसा होता तो हम शायद ये करते. Maybe your table that you're sitting on, maybe the chair that you're sitting on, maybe the pen that you're trying to use. I don't know, but it's a question, it's a thought. So you have to come up with that question and say that maybe in the near future this is something what we are looking at. Today, I mean, I'm just trying to work on one of the. See, there is a Procreate, or there is a Rhino, or there is a program called Nubel Sketch or something like that, where you can using your pen of the iPad, you can really make 3D models to an extent where they can get converted into augmented reality, and then you can also execute. So that software it is trying to help you, and it is connecting with AR and VR both, and trying to give you something else. So this is what is the near future. How to build our things. That is important. So you have to think beyond now. That's what the whole idea is. हम हर बार बात करते हैं यार लोग बोलते हैं ये नहीं बन सकते ये नहीं बन सकते अब वो बनाओ जो लोग बोले अरे हाँ यार इसको बनाने के लिए हमको सोचना है अभी so you design that. So every product that you're going to design, the jurors will come out with a solution. यार हम ये करेंगे ये बन सकता है. So jurors have to say that यार ये बन सकता है. And you have to give us methods कि सर ये ऐसे भी हो सकता है ऐसे भी हो सकता है ऐसे भी हो सकता है. There can be a debate to a certain extent, but end of the day ये बन सकता है is a question that we're going to look into. Okay.
So the next question we have is, couldn't it be an interacting space rather than being a small scale project?
It could be. It could be. That's a question that you are asking. You answer it out. Dude, I'm open to everything. See, this platform, the industrial design that we are looking at is open to everything. जब तक वो justifiable है तब तक. Because you have to justify. And we are looking at future. We are not looking at something which exists. We are looking at future. We want something, few products which will belong to the future. I don't know what I might need as a human after 15 years or after 10 years. I don't know. I want to think about that product and get them designed now and prototype now with some kind of error. See, every prototype that we are going to do will have errors. It will not be a perfect product, but it will have errors. That errors can be redesigned, but it has to be made. It has to be thought, and it has to be thought now. And every year, we have to think of building something which we might need. Okay.
So one more question we have over here. can we design a product for a problem which doesn't exist today, or people don't see it existing, but could be a problem in the future?
So that the whole idea is that. No?
Yeah. So anyone else with any other questions in the Google Meet itself?
I hope I'm answering all your questions. Any queries, please put across. No worries. One thing you need to understand that you are designing something which doesn't belong to this part of the world now. We are not using it. We want some product which we want to use it in the near future. How do we submit the physical prototype? You can make a video of it. You can make a video of your prototype, explain it, and explain it properly. Okay. So, Asha, also make sure that you are explaining your videos within, let us say, 2 to 3 minutes, so that it's been taken in a proper way. You get time to explain your product. Don't make it too lengthy. Make it very short. 3 minutes should be max. Max to max could be 4 minutes, not more than that, because you're trying to explain one product, right? Don't take too much amount of time to explain your product. So make it limited to 3 to 4 minutes. That should be the max. And I think your drawings will explain, your videos are going to also explain. Yeah.
All right. So if there aren't any further questions, I think we can conclude with the brief decode session for industrial 68th year industrial design trophy. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time out of your schedule and joining us today. And okay, so there is one question now. Does the product have to cater architecturally? Can it be from a different approach? I think sir has already answered this. But sir, if you want to go ahead.
I think, guys, just all the questions that you're trying to ask, you don't have to ask questions to yourself saying that I want to do this. Okay. So it can be any damn thing. I want to do this. Whether it has to be architecturally, whether it belongs to aerodynamics, whether it belongs to aeronautics, or whether it belongs to automobile, or whether it belongs to medical, with related to architecture. Okay, something which is related to architecture, you can design because you're an architect. See, for a simple thing, I'll give you an example. When during COVID, right? During COVID, when everybody was at home. I, as an architect, came out on the fourth day of the lockdown. Lockdown happened on 21st March 2020. I came out on 25th March 2020, sat in my factory, and wanted to understand what this COVID was all about. And we designed products to help people. Okay, we designed incubation boxes. We designed helmets for patients who are COVID positive. Right? We made filters. We designed filters and we made filters. We tried to use a certain kind of a chemical inside the face shield or the face mask or the face seal that we're looking at, so that when you're trying to breathe, there's no fog that gets generated onto it. So we try to get hydrophilic chemicals and try to apply it on your face seals, so that when a doctor is trying to operate, he can properly visualize it and operate properly. So that these are products which we try to design for that time, for that instance that we people are passing through. And believe me, we made more than 350,000 pieces and we gave it to everyone. So as architects, we can also think beyond, right? We also catered to COVID. Similarly, you guys today, of course, forget about COVID, but you guys have to come out with questions. If such kind of an instance arises, then what? Then people have started developing a lot of things. A dentist had to operate, and he has to operate mouth, correct? So, and a dentist has a face I mean, he's got a lens which falls like this. So it is at a distance which is almost 150 mm away from his face. The lens is here, and then he works. So we had to design a face shield for him, which is almost 180 mm away from his face, so that the lens is inside and the face shield is outside. So we had to design something for that instance. So these are designs, these are details. As an architect, you can design and you can also produce. So we produced it, and we produced it to an extent that I was wearing these face shields and running all over the hospitals of Mumbai. You name 40 hospitals, you name any damn thing. You name any damn thing, we were all around. Okay. So the idea is what? Today you design a product which could be helpful for everyone. People can use it, whether it is architecturally or interiors or for medical or for any space. But design something very simple that today in India, especially in India, if I'm looking at the manholes that are there, right? The manholes that are there on the roads, people just jump into it. Can we design some product for them in the near future, which can help these people move into that space and clean the whole system and come back? People are just jumping into the manhole sewers and cleaning it normally, just wearing just one small mask and coming back out. So there's no protective gear. Can we design some protective gear for them? Can it be possible? Can it be? I don't know. Can it be possible? Yeah, yes, if it is, then what kind of a design this should be? So these are the thoughts. So you have to come up with solutions now. So as architects, I think we are great designers. We are great thinkers. We also write a lot about the designs that we do. Now it's time that we need to design something for the near future. So let's do that. And if there are 350 colleges, 350 products if possible, even 50 good products, if they can be selected and they are perfect, then we can have people coming in and taking up their responsibility of building your products and putting across into the world, right? Making prototypes and trying to understand whether it can be sold or not. So if any of your product is, maybe if you're lucky enough, then you can become a billionaire, right? You don't know. So design something which can be really a part of the coming world, right? So let's do that. And I think you can do it. As students, you can do it. 99.99% in the colleges, when you're designing, many a times you are restricted to certain things, right? Here we are trying to open up. Here we are trying to say design something, explore and explode, enter into that unrealistic world, get that unrealistic design or a product into this realistic world and make it possible that people should use it. And people are looking for these kind of products. Can we do it? Is a question. And I think we can. So let's do it. So I'm looking for those beautiful designs that has to blow up everyone's minds. And guys, we're also going to get international designers on board for jury. I've already talked to them. So you would be sitting in front of those people. So think again and let's come together to design something really out of the world. Okay. And I hope I've inspired you guys, motivated you guys to come to that level. Over to you guys now.
Yes, sir. Certainly, the students have been, I'm sure they've been inspired because of, as a result of the session. And I hope the questions that you had were answered. And like sir said, whatever questions you have, use it as a fuel to design, for your entire process of designing and coming up with the product for this trophy. And thank you so much, sir, once again for joining and sparing your time. And to all those students who joined us on the Google Meet as well as YouTube, I hope you had a really good session. And you can definitely contact any of the council members if you have queries, and we can help solve it. So thank you so much again, and hope you all have a good evening. Take care.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. All the best, guys.